You know that old UPS in your garage, the one collecting dust because you upgraded years ago? What if I told you that, with a simple battery and zero fancy technology, that forgotten box could unlock hours of free electricity during a blackout? Or maybe even help you survive the next big outage? Let's put the myths, the hack videos, and the urban legends to the test, and really see if an old UPS Plus battery or free electricity setup is genius, or just another YouTube rabbit hole. Welcome to Boring Economic Update, where we dig through the everyday tech myths and sometimes, just sometimes, find buried treasure. If you're even a little curious about getting free power from what most people throw away, you'll want to stick around. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe right now so you never miss our next not-so-boring episode. Now, before we get into the nuts and bolts, do make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like, peeking behind the curtain of everyday life hacks. That's what we do here, investigating all kinds of economic claims, from the boring to the possibly brilliant. So, get comfy, and let's start from the very beginning. What exactly is a UPS, and why do people say it could unlock free power? A UPS, that's short for uninterruptible power supply, is something you'd usually find plugged into computers or routers, maybe in an office or sometimes at home, especially if you've ever lost work during a blackout. At its core, a UPS is just a big battery with some pretty clever electronics. When your power goes out, the UPS immediately kicks in and supplies continuous electricity to whatever you've plugged into it. The idea is your PC doesn't crash, your router doesn't blink off, and you have time to save your work or shut down safely. Most people think of them as boring tech insurance. Nothing to see here, unless lightning strikes. But here's the twist. Inside almost every UPS is a big battery, an inverter, and circuitry designed to invert low voltage DC from the battery into true 120V or 230V AC, just like a wall socket. This means, in theory, you're holding a backup mini power station, and that's where the YouTube rumors fly. So, where does the free electricity myth come from? Well, online you'll find everyone from electronics wizards to casual DIYers showing how they pulled out their old UPS, rigged it up with an external battery, car batteries are a common favorite, and suddenly had free power to run lamps, routers, or even a TV during a power cut. It sounds amazing, right? The pitch often goes, hey, you already own the UPS, you can use it during every outage, and if you hook it up to a bigger reusable battery, you can supercharge its runtime. To some, this almost sounds like getting electricity for nothing. But is this really free? Here's where we have to separate hype from reality, and that's why this question keeps popping up. Does old tech plus a new battery equal $0 electricity? Or is there always a catch? All right, let's peel it back. Like most tech hacks, there's a mix of truth and misunderstanding at play. The moment the power goes out, a UPS does supply backup electricity. It's instant, automatic, and for as long as the battery holds out, risk-free for your gadgets. If you replace the little inbuilt battery with a big car battery, maybe even a deep cycle one, you'll drastically extend how long your UPS can run whatever you plug in. Picture it. The grid is down, everyone else is in the dark, but you've got lights, your phone is charging, maybe even your fan is still spinning. But where is this electricity actually coming from? This is the heart of our story. For a little while, it genuinely feels like free power. The UPS is giving you juice, your gadgets are running, and nobody's sending you a bill. For a few glorious hours, you might think, hey, it really is free. But dig a little deeper, and you start to realize a UPS runs from a battery charged by your wall socket when you've got power. And here's the detail most videos gloss over. There's no such thing as a free lunch in physics, and definitely not in electricity. Whenever you plug that UPS in to charge, it's drawing power from the grid, which you're paying for. The battery stores this power, then releases it later. It's portable, convenient, and can be a lifesaver in emergencies, but it's not creating electricity out of thin air. Still, lots of people want to know, what if you used an external battery and kept swapping it out? What if you had a solar panel charging your batteries, or you found some clever trick to keep the cycle going indefinitely? Is there any way around the limits? Could an old UPS and some backyard engineering break the rules and give you free electricity, maybe even all night long? This is the dream, and it's what keeps so many people tinkering. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's really dig into what's possible here. What are the practical limits? What's safe? What's dangerous? And where does the economics of all this actually land? Because after years of watching these life hack promises explode across the web, there's one thing I've learned. The truth is almost never as simple or as free as it looks. But that doesn't mean there aren't clever real-world uses for old tech that most of us ignore. So let's keep going. Let's talk about the actual setup, the economics, and the risk that nobody wants to mention. How does an old UPS Plus battery solar and free electricity setup stack up when you look past the clickbait and into real, everyday life? Stay tuned. Let's get into what really happens when you start this so-called free electricity experiment at home. Let's say you've got your old UPS, a typical one maybe from a computer setup with a weak internal battery that barely keeps anything running. You open up the unit, maybe after watching a handful of videos, and you see 2 terminals for the internal battery. Here's where the internet comes alive with possibilities. All kinds of people suggesting you hook up a bigger battery, maybe even repurpose an old car battery or buy a deep cycle battery designed to be drained and recharged. That's a popular upgrade, and on paper, it feels like a power boost. Now here comes the fun, and often the most misunderstood part. The very moment you remove that tiny battery and hook up, say, a 12V car battery, you've effectively given the UPS a new gas tank. Instead of running for maybe 15 minutes, the UPS could power a lamp, a phone charger, or your Wi-Fi router for hours on end. For anyone who's lived through a blackout, you already know how much difference even one working lamp can make. The thrill of flipping a switch and seeing the light come on while everything else is dark is honestly pretty magical. This is why the idea sticks, and why so many folks swear by their jury-rigged battery backup systems. Suddenly, the old UPS is no longer junk, it's the hero of the night. But here's the catch, and it comes down to simple science and a little electricity math. The battery doesn't generate new power out of nowhere. It's just storing energy you previously took from the wall socket. It's not alchemy, it's just a delayed delivery, like saving dinner leftovers for another meal. If you live somewhere with frequent power outages, and electricity is relatively cheap and steady, you might not even notice this humble backup in your bill. But that's only part of the story. The more you lean on bigger batteries, the more you run into issues like heat generation, potential overloading of your UPS, and sometimes the ever-present smell of fried electronics. Let's be real. These little UPS units weren't meant to run for hours with massive loads. They're designed for critical short-term use. Push too hard and you risk damaging the electronics, melting cables, or worst case, a real safety hazard. Of course, the economic angle is what always gets people curious, especially when folks on the internet are throwing around words like free power or zero-cost electricity. If you bought your UPS years ago and you're using a battery you already own, the upfront cost can feel almost zero. But let's walk through a simple scenario. Charging a large car battery from empty to full actually takes quite a bit of power from your home grid. Every time you charge it, you're using paid electricity. The battery stores energy at maybe 75–85% efficiency, which means some of that precious energy turns into heat and is lost forever. You never get everything you put in back out, basic battery physics. Now, every time you use the UPS, you also lose some energy in the inverter circuit that turns DC from the battery back into AC for your devices. Add up those little losses, and you typically see 20–30% of the grid electricity you paid for simply gone to inefficiency. So it might feel free because you're running on a battery, but the real cost is hidden in your regular electric bill. For those looking to stretch the idea even further, what about recharging your batteries with solar panels, or maybe even a wind turbine? That's where this discussion gets interesting. If you connect your UPS battery setup to a solar panel, suddenly the energy you're charging with wasn't bought from the grid. It's coming straight from the sun, and that's where the free label actually starts to make sense. But again, there are trade-offs. Solar panels cost money up front, and you'll need a charge controller to make sure you don't overcharge or undercharge your batteries. Otherwise, you risk damaging them. Batteries themselves wear out. After a few hundred cycles, they might not hold a charge as well as they used to. Still, if you're charging with solar and only running essentials, lights, routers, phones, during outages, you really can get backup power at no extra cost on your next electric bill. But it's not overnight, and it's definitely not effortless. But let's drift back to the original hack. Just a regular UPS and a battery. Suppose you're in a place where blackouts are common, but you don't want to invest a lot of money or effort in a whole solar system. In that case, the humble combination can offer huge peace of mind. You're not saving money, at least not in the way some viral posts claim, but you are getting value from hardware most people overlook. Imagine your neighbors thinking about buying a big portable power station, spending hundreds of dollars, but you just dusted off your old UPS, spent $30 on a replacement battery, and now you have enough power to get through a storm or an evening in the dark. That's still a win, even if it's not free in the strictest sense. For some, this is where the journey ends. Practical backup power, low cost, and a sense of satisfaction that you didn't just throw another piece of tech away. For others, though, the itch continues. What if you keep going, keep tinkering? Is it possible to rig up a UPS system that actually lowers your long-term electricity costs? That brings us to an interesting twist that a lot of the simple DIY videos don't mention. What happens to your batteries as they're charged, discharged, and charged again over months or years? Every cycle takes a tiny toll on battery life, and before you know it, the batteries don't hold as much as they used to. If you're swapping out new batteries every couple of years, that upfront free claim gets chiseled away by replacement costs and recycling headaches. So, even though that viral energy hack might look perfect on your first try, reality soon pokes through. And yet, the value isn't always about getting something for nothing. Sometimes it's about stretching what you have, learning how to make the most out of has-been tech, and having a backup ready when you need it most. The next logical question, and trust me, plenty of us have asked it, is can you make it last longer, run things more efficiently, or combine setups for even bigger backup dreams? Some go as far as building battery banks. Think carloads of old UPS batteries or a dozen car batteries wired together, all connected to one or two modified UPS inverters. It's not exactly pretty, but it shows just how far people will go for even a hint of energy independence. But is there a way to really push that setup beyond just covering the next blackout? Can these hacked-together systems become a serious part of your everyday power plan, or are they forever just a fun emergency backup? More importantly, what could you gain or lose by trying to build your own free electricity system with leftover tech and a few basic parts? Up next, let's crack open the possibilities, the pitfalls, and finally answer, how close can you really get to free electricity? And is it even worth trying when you add up all the costs and risks? Let's dive deeper and see what happens when you keep taking this idea to its logical extreme. Let's now look at what happens when you really push the idea, when the goal is more than just surviving a couple of hours with the lights on. Is it possible to scale a patched-together UPS and battery solution into something genuinely practical or even life-changing? This is where a lot of folks start dreaming of off-grid setups and where things get complicated fast. You can, in fact, build a much larger battery backup system if you're determined. Some people go all in, collecting every dead UPS and old battery they can find, building what they hope will be a mini power plant. After all, the basic hardware, batteries, inverters, even solar panels, has never been more accessible. The DIY community is alive with all kinds of blueprints, and there are online forums full of people trading stories, running freezers and power outages, keeping home offices alive during storms, or setting up internet cafes in remote places where the grid is unreliable. The dream is power on demand, no matter what the local utility is doing. But, as so many who have tried this eventually discover, the free in free electricity rarely extends beyond the first lucky setup. Let's break it down with a real-world lens. First, there's the problem of scale. A single old UPS, even with a big battery, is okay for a lamp or maybe a Wi-Fi router for a few hours. But what if you want to run a fridge, a microwave, or a room full of lights for an evening? Suddenly, the current needed jumps way up, and that humble UPS circuit, designed for barely 300 watts, starts to choke, heat up, or even fail entirely. The wires get hot. The inverter's tiny fan starts whining. The battery drops voltage fast, and before long, your free backup is dark and silent, while your neighbor who invested in a purpose-built generator or solar array is still up and running. Then there's battery life. With every charge and discharge, lead-acid batteries like car batteries slowly lose capacity. Even deep cycle ones, built for many cycles, degrade over time. Sooner or later, you find yourself facing the real cost, not in kilowatts, but in replacement parts. Batteries are expensive. Properly recycling them is important, and often costs money too. And the truth is, you won't save much in regions where grid electricity is already cheap. If you try to run your daily life from battery inverter setups, you might end up spending more on batteries and hardware over the years than if you just paid your power bill and only used the UPS for short outages. But what if you want more than backup? Here's where ingenuity matters. Some folks hybridize. They supplement a solar panel with a UPS battery bank. During a sunny day, solar charges the battery. At night, the UPS inverter delivers stored power for a lamp, internet, or a fan. If you've ever read about solar home systems in rural areas overseas, this is the core idea. Except, instead of shiny all-in-one solutions, you have a wild mix of repurposed tech. It works. It isn't always pretty. But it can provide genuine independence. And when you look at areas hit by hurricanes or entire regions suffering from chronic blackouts, this blend of old UPS, battery, and a dash of solar really can provide a lifeline. Still, there's no cheating physics. Whatever energy goes in, by hand cranking, solar, or wall socket, must be paid for, either in dollars or in effort. That's the real economic story the hype videos often forget to mention. And it's why the free label barely survives a closer look. What you do get is a clever, flexible tool, insurance against blackouts, a way to squeeze one more use out of old hardware, and maybe, if you live somewhere with sunshine and patience, a small ongoing reduction in your electricity bill. Let's not forget safety either. Old UPS units aren't rated for big, continuous loads. If you wire in too much battery, or overload the output, you might cause overheating, fires, or dangerous shocks. That's why, even if it feels like simple DIY, you need to treat these hacks with serious respect. Fuses, breakers, properly sized cable, ventilation, all are a must, not a maybe. Over the years, there have been more than a few stories of fires started by mismatched battery banks and worn-out electronics. Not every Instagram life hack comes with a safety warning, but they should. So where does that leave the old UPS Plus battery to free electricity myth? Honestly, it's a great way to make use of something you'd otherwise throw away, and with planning, can be a game changer during outages. It can give you peace of mind, save some money on buying expensive new power stations, and turn a junk drawer into a backup solution. It's not free in the purest sense, and it's nowhere near perpetual motion, but it's not a waste of time either. The true value lies in understanding your tools, using what you have, and being ready to patch together your own microgrid when you need it. If you're hoping to power your whole house for days on end at zero cost, that's a fantasy. But if you want an emergency lamp, a charged phone, and working Wi-Fi when the grid fails, this old school hack is well worth your effort. Maybe the best part? You get to be a bit more self-reliant. There's a particular kind of satisfaction in keeping the lights on with something you remade yourself. A mix of thrift, ingenuity, and just enough rebellion against the daily grind. So, the next time you see a dusty old UPS, don't just send it to the landfill. Give it a second life. Even if the electricity isn't exactly free, the feeling of making your own power, if only for a few hours, is worth it. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever tried running your home, or even just a corner of it, off a DIY UPS and battery setup? What worked, what didn't, and what's the wildest blackout hack you've built from discarded parts? Drop your stories in the comments, and if you found this breakdown helpful, give us a like and share this video with anyone who's ever lost power and wondered, isn't there a smarter way? On Boring Economic Update, we love turning overlooked stuff into serious solutions. So stay tuned, subscribe, and don't miss our next deep dive into the wild, practical side of everyday economics. Until next time, keep questioning what's possible and keep those lights shining, even if just for a few more minutes.